For those of you which your commodity is rice, either rice in production or rice value addition, we are going to go through these sessions in agribusiness management. We are going to have two parts. Part one, we are looking at the basics of business management and plan for rice production enterprises or rice value addition enterprises. We are going to look at what business is all about in a changing world. What is a business? A business can be defined as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. Business can be profit entities or non-profit organization that operates to fulfill a charitable mission or further social cause. Now, the term business also refers to the organized efforts and activities of individuals to produce and sell goods and services for profit. For example, for those of you who are involved in rice production, the most important effort you are making is to produce seed for other farmers to buy. And for those in value addition, you have to convert the rice flour into different rice-based products for customers to buy, especially those who are good in baking and confectionery industries. We are going to look at the basics of a business. Generally, a business begins with a business concept, the idea and a name. Depending on the nature of business, extensive market research may be necessary to determine whether turning the idea into a business is feasible and if the business can deliver value to customer. Business structure. Many businesses organize themselves around some sort of hierarchy or bureaucracy, where positions in the company have established rules and responsibilities. The most common structure include sole proprietorship. It includes partnership, corporations, and limited liability companies, with sole proprietorships being the most prevalent among others. Now we have what is called limited liability company. This structure combines the pass through a taxation benefit of a partnership with limited liability benefits of corporation. But depending on the type of business, the structure of the business have a size. Business size range from small owner-operated companies such as family restaurants, for example, your own seed, community seed producer, and value added additional rice-based product. Now, there are another one we call national conglomerates such as General Electricity. Larger business may issue corporate stock to finance operations. Let us look at the overview of what the business is all about. There are about 14 enterprises when we talk about rice value chain. 14 enterprises ranging from seed production, value added and mechanization and others. Now, these 14 enterprises along the rice value chain, each business is an action plan of activities along with their cost implications. Each business can be divided into a retail business or a wholesale business. That is, each enterprise is open for any aspiring entrepreneurs to come in a way to start on a small scale or to start business on a large scale. Now, when you are starting a business, you must have a vision statement. The vision of the business must be clearly stated, such as to become one of the leading names in rice production and distribution in Republic of Benin or Nigeria and part of other West Africa, or you want to be in one of the leading rice-based production and processing option for increasing the nutritive value of children and even adults. So that is what all the business vision statement can look at. Now we look at your mission statement. You look at the missions of business, for example, can be to establish and stock rice seed agro shop in rural communities that will make available a wide range of well-packaged rice seed and at affordable prices to rural farmers. Now, if you have this, your mission statement, you'll be able to know, farmers will begin to know you from time to time. They say, no, we have gotten some people who have been trained by IFAD, Africa Rice, or any other institutions that are involved in this component. Then you have created a vision and mission statement. What are the core values or competencies when we talk about vision statement, mission statement? We need to look at integrity, strong honesty. And in your business, you need to show professionalism. You need to show strong technical knowledge and skill, reliability, dependable and trustworthy in the kind of business you want to do. And that is why we are giving you all the training. The technical part of it, we have given you about 8 modules in rice seed production technologies. And in the second part, commodity value chain, the value addition, we have given you about 2 sessions. That means comprises of 14 rice-based products development and utilization. Now, I will talk about acceptability, always available to offer good products to customers. These are your core values. Then the fundamental areas of an enterprise, usually business type like retail or wholesale, you need to address 5 fundamental areas of enterprises as follows. Number 1, you have to start up and running operations, acquisition of land and premises. You need utilities, operation permits, equipment and tools, initial input and sources, storage spaces, and shelling points. What are the area you are selling your product? Then number 1, the B part of it, you need to running and operations. Inputs, procurement, productions, marketing, record, and stock keeping. Now, why do we talk of running operations? For example, for those who are seed producers, you will also need other companies or other institutions who are involved in early generation seed production. For example, breeder seed or foundation seed. So you need an institution or another company that produce foundation seed so that you can produce certified seed for farmers. And for those in value addition, you will need farmers who produce grain for you to buy paddy to mill into rice flour. So it's a joint work. Number 2 is the available capital and other resources that you need to start up a business. And that is why this business you are going to start, you are going to be empowered, those that will scale through, who has passed through examinations, who have passed through our technical field practical training, and who have taken their exam and passed, will be able to have a small grant that will enable them to start their business. And number 3, we look at business structure. What are the membership size, managers and other employees that are qualified, honest, that are customer friendly and are ready to work and build a prosperous business that will benefit all the stakeholders? For example, you look at your area of field, you look at a production manager, we look at a procurement manager, we look at accounts to record keeping manager, look at marketing and sales manager, information to communication manager, and of course, we can even use the ICT tools. Now, what are the essentials of business skills? Financial management, being able to effectively manage your finance and how profit or loss will be utilized. So in this business of seed production and value addition you will start, you are going to have your own business plan for yourself. marketing and sales strategy. You need to have customer services, communication and negotiation. One of the most important skills of business is a great communication. You need this communication. You need a leadership style. What style do you use? Now, you know how to go some time management. The ability to manage time and prioritize tasks is an essential characteristic of efficient project managers. You need to have a core competence of how you can manage conflicts too. High prevalence of conflicts in the workplace with people from diverse backgrounds, and you need to do what is called networking. Now, there are other areas that you need to know, like we call it SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threats analysis. Now, SWOT analysis is conducted for the entrepreneurs to maximize strength, leverage on the opportunities that will be available to him or her, mitigate our risk, and be well equipped to confront our threats. What do we mean by strength? Our locations within rural communities, the business model we will be operating on, physical agro shops, varieties of payments options, wide range of well-processed and well-packaged rice seed, and an excellent customer service culture will count as your strength for the business. Now, what are the weaknesses? A major weakness that may count against the business is the fact that we are a new rice seed business outlet and we don't have the financial capacity to engage in the wide publicity. Some of you who are just coming to the business now, you may not have money to go into radios to begin to advertise to people. But on your own, you can develop one-on-one business skills, creating farmers, go to farmers field. We have a structure. What variety have you planted in your field? We have a structure. We have new way of planting rice now, and we have quality seed. So these are some of the things you can. Then what are the opportunities? The fact that rural farmers do not have to travel very far to buy improved rice seeds provides the business with unlimited opportunity to sell rice feed to farmers. What are the threats? One of the major threats that we are to face in our business is unfavorable government policies that does not support private business. Now, in all this business, there are certain categories of things we want you to know. We call it entrepreneurial skills. The entrepreneurial skill, you have been given your entrepreneurial skills during the rice production module and value addition module respectively. So we need to know the basics of entrepreneurship, business structures, record keeping, tips for agribusiness management, functions and business plan, and return on investment. So these are most of the things you have to know. We have to look at the soft skills, skill in communication. How do you network, business network, emotional intelligence, leadership and interpersonal skills? How do you manage your time, gender sensitivity to cultural norms? When you are in a society where you are producing seed, some of these society have what is called societal norms. The norms there are the expected pattern of behavior in a society. Societal norms, even we have some legal laws that back up some norms in a society. So you don't go to the community and begin to violate their norms. You have to follow the structure. Now, emotional intelligence is your ability to understand and manage your emotions in a positive way wherever you want to start your business. You need to overcome some challenges and diffuse some conflicts. This is your emotional intelligence. You need to have some aspect of leadership and management skill. You need to understand the concept of leadership. How do you manage people? How do you apply the concept of leadership and manage people well? Know the importance of personal leadership in leading others and building your team. Now, this business can grow to a very big conglomerate companies in the future, and you will need people. So, and managing human resources is one of the key criteria in business. So we look at the gender and cultural sensitivity. You need to understand the concept of gender and cultures and its application to agriculture and agribusiness. So you need to relate gender and cultural issues to personal and business relationship. You need to promote gender culture appropriateness through a well-coordinated actions. What of networking? You need to understand the role of personal branding in networking. understand the main purpose of networking, develop effective networking plan. When you are doing your business, all these things are very communication. You need to communicate effectively. You need to have a channel whereby you communicate and apply to real life scenarios. In your communications, what happened? You need to understand the importance of effective communication. Design a basic communication plan. How do you want to reach your customers? And you need to manage the flow of information in an organization structure. What of your interpersonal skill? Know how to use your skills to negotiate for partnership. How do you manage people? If some group of companies come to say, look, we need you to produce 50 tons of seed or 10 tons of certified seed for us. How do you go into the skill of negotiating? So that is why we want to teach you so that you can develop your own business plan and how you can go about some of these things. You need to understand the art of persuasion and partnership. Determine when or to your skill in business to your own advantage. Understand the feedback process and effective feedback techniques. For example, you have developed a business relationship with people. You need your skill to how to relate with them and understand the feedbacks. So managing the time. What if I give you money and people say, okay, we need you to deliver X number of quantity of certified seed in the next season. Looking at your cropping season, and if you don't have irrigation system, you need to manage your time to ensure that most of what is built that brings this relationship together is kept. And with the time you want to manage or you want to produce this. So know the importance of effective time management. Make use of simple effective time management tools and understand the principle of time management. You need to apply time management tools in leadership and management of oneself and others when it comes to business. Now, in all this, we need to talk about record keeping. The most important business, for you to thrive in business, you need to have what is called general farm crop record keeping. So we need to have this. You need to have a record. Which community are you producing your seed? What locations? Who is the farmer around there? Major field operations that you take, date of operations, the supervisor that you hire in your field, and what is the signature. For example, you need to have a date, crop variety, what has been sold, the quantity, what is the unit's cost, total cost in Naira or in CFA. So, and all these are very important. Then there's what you call return on investment. So we are giving you this basic idea or concept so that you'll be able to develop your own business plan. For example, in this table that is showing, this is a cost and benefit of producing 1 hectare of certified rice in Nigeria. So if you look at the knock quantity, the amount you use in buying your seed, and what are the processes, what are the procurement, what do you buy, what makes your net cost, and what makes up the total cost for producing 1 kg of seed. And at the end, we put all this record, what are your fixed costs and what are your variable costs. So you'll be able to know from all your total cost of production, you'll be able to know how much you have gained after removing the expenses, the cost of paying the staff. What does it mean if I continue in this seed production? If I continue in value additions, do I make gain if I put 500,000, 300,000 to 1 hectare of seed? What comes to me? Then I give the second example, cost benefit analysis of mechanized threshing enterprise. For example, there are so many people that want to even go into a business of mechanization, and the only thing, okay, if I have a 45 hectare of land and I'm using my machine to thresh, how much do I spend? At the end, what do I get as my total revenue that I can? What is my gross profit? What is my net profit? And you look at a gross rate of profitability. You now say gross profit divided by the total cost. And return on investment, what is my net profit? Is my net profit divided by the total cost. So it will give you, okay. So I want to give us some tips for managing management functions. And what are those tips? Planning. You know, in all the work you are doing, management functions, you need to plan. Planning is one of a good criteria for a good business. So what is planning? Process of determining the organization's objective and deciding how to accomplish them. That is what plans there. Now in a season, I want to plan. The first thing is that where do you have your site where you want to produce your seed? And for value additions, where am I going to locate this value addition that will be lucrative, that will be a very big business opportunity for me? Now, what are the functions? Now, you need to have an objective when you are planning. Result desired by the organization. Your company, you as a seed producer, as a value added based producer, then what am I going to do? Now you need a mission, organization purpose and philosophy. You need to look at the objectives and begin to see what are the areas that I can function. You need to have a target, a point whereby you common and elaborate organization objective is to profit, competitive advantage, efficiency of growth, and services, ethics, community responsibility. So these are the what are the functions? We need strategic plans. What are your strategic plan? You need plans. And when you are planning, you need is your plan, is this tactical plans? Is it operational plans? All these are something that you need to show up in management functions. And whereas you are planning, you need to do what is called organizing. No, structuring of resources and activities to accomplish objectives effectively and efficiently. And this is what organizing is all about. And when you are organizing, you need to work with the team of people, you need to work with the group of people, you need to function, and they need to understand what you are doing. Now, and when you are doing that as a manager of your seed company or as a value added product, then you need to direct, you need to motivate and lead employees to achieve the objective of the organization. For example, you need to understand the difference between large and small business, functions and their roles. In terms of planning, commonly have formal written objectives and plans with global business focus. You look at people, I want to put a business in this aspect and I need the focus. And this is where I want it to be. Organization, you tend to have some formal structures on plan with clear policies defined, procedures, and management. How will your job tends to be specialized? And we talked about leading. I mentioned leaderships in the past slide I mentioned. So managers tend to be more participative, giving employees more say in how they do their work and allow them to make more decisions. So, and controlling, they tend to have more sophisticated computerized control system. Yeah, this is very important. Sometimes if somebody is in the office, by the time you click your computer, you tell the staff, oh, somebody has registered, it's online. So these are the same. What are the importance of management rules, resources allocation? That is the basic things they do. What is the difference between large and small scale? In planning, I say you need to plan well, you need to organize, you need to lead, and you need to see what are the key takeaways in business management. We first of all define what a business is. We say a business is defined as an organizational or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. And number two, we look at it, business can be profit entities or non-profit organizations that operate to fulfill a charitable mission or further a social cause. Now, business range in the scale from sole proprietorship to an international cooperation. From now, you may look at it, your business, you are starting very small, but it will take you somewhere. If you are committed and diligent to to planning and having a good structure about your business. So the business owner should at all times demonstrate commitment to sustainability, both individually and as firm, by integrating sustainable business practices and ethics. These are the things I think we want to discuss for the business model in this part one. Thank you.